Hello! For day 2 of Sea and Summer Tangles, I will use a Zentangle's classic. It's called Squid. And to start, it's a very descriptive name, which is not so characteristic for Zentangle. And I will start with a cluster of these little beads that we call a tipple, which is a tangle itself. In Zentangle. So just this cluster of them, which can be more or less regular. It doesn't have to look like anything in particular. And then starting from that, I will draw these little kind of petal shaped objects that reach to the sides. And then when I'm done with one layer of them, and you can use shorter and longer shapes. There are no rules about how they should look like or what they should look like. When you are done with a number of them, then you can add some more, and this time you can draw below the ones that are already here. So we are using the so-called hollybow manner of drawing behind and in front of the shapes that are already here, which is great for shading later, highlighting, whatever you do. So you just add these in a very playful and spontaneous way until you feel that you've had enough. I might have enough of them as it is. And now that I'm done with that, I will fill in some of these spaces closer to the center with some more tipple or orbs, whatever you prefer. And as I move away from the center at one point, I will stop adding them. And you feel free to decide if you want to add more or less. Zentangle has a so-called zentomology, which is a way to categorize tangles based on some common characteristics, and they are categorized into so-called tangle genomes, which are kind of families that share the same genes. And this one belongs to so-called blossom tangles. So you may know why it's called blossom tangles. They kind of like blossom from the center. It's very similar to a structure of a mandala, radial design that spreads from the center to the sides. So this one specifically, Squid, belongs to the blossom tangles, but also it's an organic tangle. So you can categorize different tangles into probably more, or most of them, more than just one tangle genome. Well, at one point you just decide that you've had enough of these little orbs, beads, tipple, whatever you want to call them. And when you do, you can just move on to the next step, which is of course shading. And I think I decided that I've had enough several times already, and then I came back to add some more, but now it's really enough. So for the shading I will use this graphite pencil, and I usually decide to use it when I make videos or when I teach, because I use quite powerful lights, and it doesn't, you can't really see the glare, which can sometimes be just too much of a distraction, the glare that the regular graphite pencils have when you use them. And you can use any pencil, so whatever you have, the little Zentangle pencil is a wonderful tool for shading. And they also have the new one, which is darker and more dramatic, that you might want to try as well. You can see that I shaded also in a way to bring out the placement of these kind of petals on top and below each other. You can also notice that I haven't added any shades to the central part of the tipple, which I started from. Now I'm just trying to blend this with my blending stump. I need to get a new one. This is not pointy enough for this fine detailed work. And of course, once you are done with shading, you can add highlights. And you see that I only applied the white pencil to the central part, and I will just blend it to cover a little bit more of the grounds. Ooh, I grabbed the wrong blending stump. I have a separate ones for white and for graphite. And then I will add some highlights to these tentacles of my squid, trying not to cover my black lines, which is not always possible when the shapes are so narrow, but knowing that you can just go back and retrace those lines at a later time when you know, maybe come back to it to add some more love to the tangle is, you know, comforting. It doesn't need to be perfect. That's also another thing. There's no perfection when we are using our imperfect hands. It's not like we're machines. So just relax and trust the process and enjoy it. I'm just adding a little bit of the shiniest highlights to some of these, and I think I'm done. I will write the name to this squid. You can see how I'm going back and forth over the same line, so it's a little bit brighter. This is not the best choice for these small letters. I might maybe choose a different one at some point, but I'm done with my little squid, and I had the idea to show a finished drawing with each of these tangles, but I don't think that I have any drawings with squid, and I will have to, you know, make up for it. I will draw something with squid. It's such a powerful tangle, like a focus tangle, what I like to call them, and I will draw something with squid acting as a main role. Thank you for drawing again with me, and have a lovely day. Bye.